Welcome to That American Football Show, powered by EP Sports. EP Sports is the top supplier in the UK for all your American football needs, helping players and coaches reach their potential since 2007. Check them out at epsports.co.uk. On today's show, we have the guys from First Down Football on. You might have seen them bouncing around on social media if you follow a lot of the ELF stuff. But they've been planning a fantasy football service for the league. Tim, Joe, not Craig, and I are joined by Davide all the way from Italy. Thanks so much for coming on, mate. We're really pleased to have a chat with you.
Thank you for having me. We're starting this crazy project of having an actual fantasy in Europe as well, because we saw that every league in Europe does not have a fantasy at all. So we started from Italy, which is where we come from. And we did like the whole season. I think there's like 1.5 weeks, because one of the weeks just has one game that has to be replayed. And yeah, we started from there. We're almost done with that season. So now we're starting with the posting on the ELF stuff, and then we're gonna have the website ready and everything going on.
And is it just Italy and the ELF you're handling now? Are there any other leagues?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's the first year that we do this. Like, we started in January for the Italian season, because it starts in like February or March. And it was just a random idea that this guy texted. Like, I know this guy from playing football previously, like a couple years back. He texted me and he's like, do you think it is doable to do a fantasy league for Italian football? And I was thinking he was talking about like doing a fantasy with friends, like 10 people. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can like calculate the stuff. Like, I got it. Sure. And he's like, no, I'm talking about actually building a page and then a website and then everything. And I'm like, we can work on it. And from there we started. We did the Italian league, and now we want to go into a bigger league, because our goal is to get football more known in Europe. And I think the European League of Football is doing that at best.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because definitely say we do share those values. It's all about just growing it within Europe and getting people. The NFL is so well known around Europe, so it's just making sure that people know that they do have a local team. So it's a nice idea. And with the fantasy structure wise, so how essentially does it work? Because with NFL fantasy, you do a whole draft system. With other sports, like with soccer over here, you can pick everyone in the league can pick the same players if they want to. How is it going to work for the ELF with yours?
Right. So we are a self-sponsored project. So we didn't have no money into it at the start. So we couldn't build a website that could have leagues already. Like, now we're getting an actual website, like professional website built for us, but it doesn't have the options of having leagues in it yet. So we are working around it with leaderboards. So you're going to have overall leaderboards of all the weeks, like the points you score each week, and it just adds up. And then you're going to have a weekly leaderboard in which you can choose a team, and it can be the same as other people. And there is like limitation of how many players you can take in one team, like from one team, and limitations on how many American players you can have.
Okay. So
those two are the only two rules. And if you respect those rules, you're going to get a score and get on the leaderboards.
And so is that the plan moving forward, or like, obviously it's still kind of base here, but what we're all developing, is the plan to eventually have it where you can like have a league with friends? Or is it always going to be okay, cool.
Our plan is to have leagues in maybe next year. We hope for next year. Maybe it's going to have to be the year after, but like, yeah, that's our plan.
It's a good trial run to get it out on that sort of basis with a leaderboard rather than having to do leagues, I guess. So you can iron out any glitches.
I think that when we're gonna be able to have the leagues with friends, that option, I think we're gonna still keep the weekly leaderboards and those things. It's good fun to have like competition across the fan base instead of just between like 10 friends. Like, it's something that adds to fantasy, in my opinion.
It's similar to that. It's one of the NFL like betting program.
Yeah.
You try and get the best score and you win it. Obviously, they give you $1 million if you get it, but similar kind of concept to that.
Yeah. Do not expect $1 million.
For
sure. Do not expect that.
This is one of my favorite subjects from last year, and I can see the other two's faces drop already. The stats that the ELF provides.
Yes. I mean,
they weren't very reliable last season, to say the least. So
yes.
How are you going to cope? And are you going to manually input them all? How big is your team to do that?
Okay, so basically, we're going to get the stats. First of all, we're trying to talk to the ELF to have them sending a specific type of file that we could put in the website, and then the website does all the work for us.
Yeah.
Like right now for the Italian Football League, we go on the website where the stats are posted. We take them down, insert one after the other in an Excel file.
Yeah.
We calculate in the Excel file, then we make another Excel file for the leaderboards, and then we give the points in the leaderboards. That's how we do it right now. But we're gonna try to have the league support us, giving us the stats. And also we are already talking to a couple of pages that are stats based, and they say they watch all the games and they take down the stats themselves, so they can check if the ELF stats are right.
Okay.
I can guarantee they won't be.
Yeah.
I'm purely out of just interest because I couldn't even begin to think where to start to make a fantasy league. What have you learned putting this together?
Well, I think that it was really important for us to do the Italian Football League before the ELF, because the ELF is a much bigger league. In the Italian football league, there is eight teams, I think, maybe 9, and it's yes, there is competitions, but there is 2 main teams or 3 main teams that have it under control. The other ones just take a beating every week, pretty much. So from there, we learn how to give points, to have it balanced, to not have some weeks with 300 points and some other weeks where certain teams don't play and you have just 100 points per team. And then just how to work around some problems when you have them, some peculiarities, if this team scores in this situation, how do you award the points in fantasy? So some stuff like that.
Do you do a lot what's your role in it? Do you do the coding? Do you I don't even know what you'd have to do, but
well, it's me and another guy that founded this, and then we built a Telegram group for people from the Italian league to follow us and can talk to each other and make a community. And from there, we asked if anybody wanted to help, and there we found the guy that is helping us with the website, and some other guys that are helping us with the stats. And so the main thing is, the other guy that started with me is a graphic. He actually works as a graphic. He has a page that is called RF Sports Graphics. So he does that as a job, and he works. He has done graphics for players in the ELF already, personally for them, and that's his job. And I am just a huge fan of NFL fantasy, and I just work around the stats. I know how the stats works. I do all of that. I calculate all the things.
How good are you at NFL fantasy?
I'm very good at NFL. I'm actually really bad. Every year I get to the final and then I lose the final. It's been 2 years in a row where I get to the final and then I lose.
We need to get you in our league next year.
That's fine.
I can't see anyone else's wrong shoulder. Fantasy.
Last year I had some players on my team. I had Jay Taylor, I had Cooper Kupp, I had Kelsey, I had Najee Harris, I had all of them. I had everybody on my team last year.
I had Michael Pittman.
Yeah. I actually love Michael Pittman. He has a YouTube.
He had a really good season. He won me some games.
He has a YouTube. He's so funny. He watches stuff back from the games and
really? That's
commentates it.
That's cool.
I know Darren Waller's a rapper, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some weird people in the NFL.
Davide, going back to like the gameplay then. So you said how there's rules. So
Yes.
so first of all, how many American players are you allowed in the team?
Okay. We're thinking of doing 3 because in the Italian league you have max 2. We're deciding between 2 and 3, but we're more biased on 3 right now.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And second of all, so how many players in each position make up a team?
Okay, so it's really similar to an NFL fantasy formation or lineup. You have a quarterback, 2 running backs, and then we don't have a tight end because in the Italian football league, that's not really a role, like a specific role. There's just some wide receiver that play slot and count as tight ends sometimes. So we just have 3 wide receivers, and then we have defense, kicker, and the offensive line.
Oh, nice.
I'm really proud of because I invented the voting for the offensive line myself.
How do they score? Because that is fascinating.
Basically, it's really similar to how defensive players get scores. Not defense, like the whole defense gets scored. Like based on the amount of points the team scores, you have from -4 to 10. They can get, like, if the team gets 0, that's a -4 for the offensive line. If the team gets 35 plus, that's a +10 for the offensive line. And then a running touchdown is 2 points because usually the offensive line is involved. Receiving touchdown is 1 point. Sack against your quarterback is -1 point. And then there's like a bunch of stuff like that, you know?
That's really cool.
That's good.
Like, it has to be stuff that is within the stats. Like I cannot use pancakes because there's not going to be a pancake stats. But like, yeah, it's just around what we can use in the stats. And I just thought of how to do it.
Well, mate, that's
I've never seen that in fantasy league. That's a really good idea.
You got to copyright that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw a lot of offensive linemen get engaged with the Italian Football League page right away.
Oh, really?
My friend, who has never done fantasy or like almost never, he texted me and he's like, can we get the offensive linemen to be in the fantasy? Because nobody is giving a shit about them. So I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And we just did it.
That's really, really good. I like that. And I know you said you're building the website. Is it always going to be on the website? Is there like, would you ever have maybe plans for like putting an app in or something?
Well, we are, as I said at the start, it's all work in progress. Yeah, like we want to have an app. We want to build around. We want to expand to other European leagues or maybe other sports as well. We don't know yet, but like, because you know, there's like, I don't know how it is around other states, but in Italy, there is like football and that's it. And apart from football, like basket is pretty big, but not really. So like, you know, work on more stuff to get other sports to get known. Because if you only have football or soccer for American people, it's not going to be, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I live next to Old Trafford. That's pretty much all I hear about.
A lot of crying going on near your house then over the last year.
My dad was at the City game.
Oh, what, when they won the title?
Yeah, I texted him that I'm just at the City game. I'm like, you're very casual about that.
Yeah, quite a big one to be at. Davide as well. So how do you feel about Milan getting a ELF?
I love that.
I haven't spoken to any Italian fans about it yet, so I'm quite intrigued.
Okay, so I think they can do it. Like they are by far the biggest team in Italy. They lost the league last year on the final, like in the Italian Bowl, but they always have like a really good team. Most of the players, they have won the American football Euro Cup this summer. So like they have a really good team. I don't know if they have the facilities to compete in a league like the ELF yet, but they have a year to prepare. So I think they're gonna do a lot of work.
Definitely. I'm really excited they're going to Italy.
Same.
I think a lot of teams at the minute, the facilities vary from the top teams to the bottom teams. Some have really good stadiums and facilities, and then some teams, as we've just seen, don't even get a stadium until 2 weeks before the start of the season. So,
yeah. I'm not expecting the Seamen to be one of the top teams right away, but I definitely expect them to come in with. They're not gonna come in to just get played around with. They're gonna come in to do something for sure.
I think it's so exciting that like ELF's just getting the top team from every country, because it's almost like I know you say Euro Cup, but it's similar to that way, but it's going to be a full league of it. Like, it's just so fun. Are you going to be an automatic Seaman fan when they come in?
I don't think so, because so basically, I'm born and raised in Bergamo, which is like an hour away from Milan. And let's say my team, the Lions Bergamo, used to dominate in the Italian scene and the European scene back in the days. They have like the longest streak of wins in Europe, I think. And then there is this Milan team that is the Seamen that just came up a few years ago, and they're getting a lot of cups in Italy and in Europe. And they think like, oh, we're the best team in Italy. So we're not really, we don't really like each other that much, but I've learned to get over that by doing the fantasy football and getting to know some of them. So yeah, maybe I like more the Barcelona Dragons right now.
Yes, I'm a Dragons fan.
They're a fun team.
I'm not even a Dragons fan, even though I'm wearing the jersey. It's only because I'm going to Barcelona in a couple of weeks. I'm going to a game, so I bought the jersey to go.
Oh, yeah,
I'll buy it off you afterwards, Tim.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. We had Zac Edwards on their quarterback. He's such a great guy.
Yes, yeah. I texted him. I don't know if you saw. We're doing interviews for imports. Like, we're just texting imports and just posting what they reply to our questions. And like, Zac Edwards was so cool about it. He was like replying right away, super nice. Like, I was like, yes, I love that.
Yeah, he's actually come on twice. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I think, and I know this has been recorded and going out, but we haven't had a single guy that's been not really nice. Well, that's not very good English, put it that way. But you know what I mean? We haven't had anyone that we've had on and gone afterwards. That was a bit of a drag, wasn't it, boys? They've all been really good, really keen. And like you said, they get back to us right away. There's no chasing them. They're all keen to come on. It's just, I think, especially with the Americans, they've come over here because they love the game and still want to play. So anything they can do to talk about it and spread the word to the league, they love doing it.
You know what? Like, we were surprised when we came to the ELF and started like texting people and see how they were nice and everything. Because like in Italy, there is some certain teams that really have high standards. So if a page with like 400 followers texted them, they just wouldn't reply. They just they will ignore. They will see our stuff, but they will ignore the messages and And then when we got closer to like 1,000 followers with that page, they start following the page. They start replying and like, like, why'd you gotta do that? Like, you're here to play. I'm here to make your sport more known. Like, why'd you gotta do that?
Yeah.
When we first started, I think I got in touch with it was the Hamburg Sea Devils, and I said to them, "We'll take anyone if it's a backup lineman, fine." And they got back and they said, "Do you want to start in quarterback?" And we're like, "Oh yeah." So it was in the first week of doing the interviews, we were interviewing Jadrian Clark, which was pretty good.
You went for coffee with him a couple of weeks ago.
I met him in Edinburgh the other day.
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, they're all good guys in this league. That's what makes it feel like the community around the league is good. Like, you got all the players, you got the fans, you got podcasts like us, you got guys like you who are adding extra sort of fun to the league and be able to follow. And I think that's the important thing. You see so many people who, do you watch the NFL? And they'll be like, nah, but I play fantasy. And they know a lot and they recognize who's who just from that. So you guys bringing this into the league can only be a plus. And it's great that you guys have, trialed it and you've got your mind set on what you want to do. Like I can't wait to play it now. If I'm
Yeah,
being totally honest.
I'm going to be getting on that.
Yeah,
myself, I got to know the NFL through fantasy before actually watching the games.
Yeah,
like I started watching the games because of fantasy.
Yeah, I'm in fantasy leagues with people that don't watch the games. They just know the football through fantasy and Madden, but they don't really care about watching the games. They just want the stats. It's the whole.
But it's such a good way of learning who players are. Like it makes you makes you want to watch that game to see how that plays and how you score. So I mean, what's going to be really fun, and I think is with the offensive line thing, is people are actually going to start watching the offensive line and being like, "Come on, I want them to do well." Like, yeah, it's only going to do good things for the league, I think.
Yeah, I catch myself like when I have often you do a stack. You put a running back and his offensive line against maybe a team that is a bit weaker, and you just watch the game and you're like, yes, you opened that gap for him to run and get me some fantasy points. Let's go.
Who are your tips then for who should be in our fantasy teams? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Who are your 3 picks?
Oh,
I have to put you on the spot.
So, I gotta go with Zac Edwards as quarterback.
Yeah, he runs it.
Because first of all, he's a ball player. Second of all, I like him. He's really nice. So I gotta go with him. For running back, I actually have I don't know who I would choose because it's so like
London.
What?
Can't take Mandre London. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Exactly. Like that would have been an easy pick, but he's gone. I don't know who I would choose. For defense, I have to pick Frankfurt. I have to, because I texted. I don't know how to pronounce his name or no. Gauthier.
Yeah.
Gauthier. Yeah. He is the nicest guy.
Yeah, he's really nice.
I texted him the night of Frankfurt winning the how do you call that in English?
The
Europa League.
Oh, Europa League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I texted him the night of Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt winning that league, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I just watched the game. I was like, I'm over the moon. Everybody here is partying." And I'm like, "Yes, that's lovely." He's so nice.
I can't. Sorry, that is nightmares for me. I'm a West Ham fan, and then Rangers are my second team. So Frankfurt beat West Ham and Rangers in the semi-final and final. So yeah, bit of a soft subject, that one.
Oof. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm over it now.
Gauthier was great. Yeah,
lovely guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Davide, where can everyone find you if they like? What's your website? What's your social medias?
Okay, so the website has not been launched yet. So the on Instagram we have the page that is called firstdown.elf. That's where we post everything, and then soon from Instagram we're gonna launch the website. Probably launch a group chat somewhere for people to talk to each other and compare each other for fantasy purposes and stuff like that. And yeah, that's it. I mean, you can find us on Facebook as well. I'm not really sure if there is the ELF page or just the Italian League yet, like right now. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we'll make sure we link everything down below.
Also, RF Sports Graphic, our graphic. And we have Insane Sports, which sells these sponsors. Insane Sports, which has sells sports stuff like sports equipment and stuff like that. And then we have Wilson. I'm pretty sure you know Wilson from the footballs and stuff. Wilson. And then we have Infinity Sports, and that's the only local shop where you can find American football gear and stuff like that in Italy. That's the only actual, not virtual shop.
Damn, I think we're in breach of contract with
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Lads, is there anything else we want to talk about before we get off?
Nothing to ask, just to say, yeah, I can't wait to get sign up and get picking a team. I've already been writing little drafts out to see who I'm going to put in. So
yeah, honestly, like we barely knew anything about you guys before. Like we were all kind of like we don't even know how it's going to run, but just from this, like I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, for the Italian Football League, we had a lot of people reaching us, like telling us this was needed, this was really nice, this got me into watching games and stuff like that. Because when you have somebody that you count on in fantasy, you're gonna watch the game and cheer for that guy to be good for your fantasy. So yeah, I think it's gonna get a lot of people excited.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you everyone so much for listening. We're going to put all of Davide's links in the description below and on our socials. And where can they find us, Joe?
Yep, Twitter and Instagram as always is at TAFS_UK, and our Facebook is That American Football Show.
We've got a big Facebook group as well, so make sure you join that. Also on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe if you're listening. I hate to be that guy, but there you go. Just YouTube That American Football Show. As always, please leave us comments. We love hearing from you. Let us know where you're listening from. We'll add you to the map. Davide, good luck with the project. We're all going to be behind you, hoping it's going well. And yeah, I'm sure we'll all be playing. You'll see my name on that leaderboard, boys.
At the bottom.
Thank you for listening. Make sure you head over and check out our friends at EP Sports for all your NFL or equipment needs, and we will see you next time.